I learned a few lessons at Prim. One of the things that I should have known is that I need to bring more spare parts. At Taft, the second race, man, we brought this car to its knees. Vaughn had it all fixed up after Prim. We fixed the radius rod that we'd bent.
Eric will have to try pretty hard to bend these up.
We were a little bit more sturdy, but there's just so much more on these cars that can go wrong. They're just not set up for this kind of abuse.
We also relocated the cooling system up behind the seats. It's better protected up there, also is less likely to get filled with mud. It seemed ready to go for Taft, but as you strengthen one weakness, it can reveal others.
My wife and two of my three girls joined me for this race. They're racing pros, they've done plenty of it, they've got quite a bit of seat time, and the plan was to have them race their bikes and help be the pit crew. Jody, she's my main supporter. She's my lovely voice of reason. It was important for me to have her here at the race and take care of all the little details. You know, it just so happens that the first two races we've been to were rain races. A ton of rain in Prim. It was more of the same in Taft. It was actually pretty impressive. They had rivers going right through the pits. It was crazy how much water was coming out of the sky and down through the pits. They canceled a bunch of the practice, and then what practice there was, it wasn't quality track time, so we opted to hold off. On the first day of racing, my class wasn't racing, but I found a sportsman's class to line up in and thought, you know, at least I'll get some track time. So I went out and broke an axle right off the bat. You know, the next day was our main race. We lined up and we took off, and I actually was able to squeak out the whole shot. And man, I got so excited. Got through the first corner pretty clean, working on the second corner, and by the time I got to the third corner, I'd broke another rear axle. I can't make the thing turn. I'm starting to develop more problems because of the broken axle. The front end's starting to make noise. It actually popped into neutral. Noises kept getting worse. I kept going, I kept trying to get through it until the belt just completely blew apart. Took out the secondary clutch. I mean, it was a mess. I'm sitting out on the race course, and I couldn't even get back to the pits. I had to be towed back to the pits. And no one likes to do that. You know, we spent all this time and all this effort, and we can't even get through a full race. And I was pretty mad, you know. I try not to get too emotional about it, but I was having a hard time keeping it in. And to top it off, I had to figure out how to get it on the trailer. I mean, I hadn't even really thought it through to think I would need a winch or something to get a broken car into the trailer. And when I got it together, all I had was reverse. So I had to do some creative driving to get it in the trailer in one shot. All in all, we were pretty happy to get out of Taft. I was looking forward to the drive home.
When Eric brought back that injured beast, we had no idea what we'd find. We knew the CV axles were failing, and we needed to find a better solution there. We needed to get our tech involved to look into some of these internal transmission, CV shaft, and differential issues.
We have a pretty experienced tech here, Dustin. He's very thorough, and with all the damage that we incurred at Taft, we needed some pretty serious help getting this car ready for Havasu.
Eric asked me to tear into his RZR after his last race. I mean, the thing was just beat up. He broke 2 axles while he was out there. Front differential failed and was making a lot of noise. And on top of that, the drive clutch belt decided to destroy itself. And not just destroy itself, but when it blew, it destroyed the entire drive clutch housing along with the driven clutch assembly. So, quite a bit of work to do when this thing came in. We had to pull the transmission out because the CV axle that had broken just destroyed the left side of the transmission's case. We had to pull the entire clutch assembly apart, get all those things replaced. Putting things back together, we really built his front diff. We upgraded the sprag carrier as well as the armature plates. and installed a much stronger pin that sits inside the ring gear that helps it all disengage. So the thing should be pretty much bulletproof. On our way back towards the transmission, we went ahead and upgraded the carrier bearing for the drive lines. On the Polarises, they have really extreme drive angles, and if they're not phased properly from the factory, you get a lot of vibration that will translate through the drive shaft into the transmission and can create some potential big problems. So put on a Sandcraft carrier bearing. That's going to be nice and strong. As for the transmission, we replaced the left side case cover. That was just in really bad shape. Inside the transmission, all the gears looked like they were in really good shape, so we went ahead and bolted that up, put it back together. Now, when we put it back into the machine, we threw on some upgraded motor mounts as well as transmission mounts, because when we had pulled that thing out initially, we had noticed that the mounts had actually broken. Lastly, we threw on some really heavy-duty RCV axles. With those changes, this thing should be able to hold up to an atomic bomb. So we expect it to do very well.
To keep our safety upgrades going, we installed a fire suppression system as well as some reinforcements to the car. The car was going to be pretty solid going into Lake Havasu, which is good because Dan, the owner of Rocky Mountain ATV MC, was going to be present at this one.
Not finishing the race wasn't an option this time. Problem was, I had no idea that Havasu was going to be the hardest race yet.
Lake Havasu is an awesome town, built next to an aquatic paradise. They have this island that you can access by crossing the London Bridge. Yep, the London Bridge. The course dived in and out of a large gully on the shores of the lake. Beautiful place to race.
We got the pits set up and get ready to get some seat time. We had actually 4 practice sessions, so we had plenty of time to sort this thing out. Another first for this project was having a co-pilot. My good friend Kylie, who has a lot of insight and experience, is going to ride shotgun with me on this race. It's going to be a good time. He's been racing something with a motor his entire life, and it means a lot to have him with me in the car.
Kylie.
After the first practice lap, we came back with one reaction. Wow. This course was rough. A lot more going on than the other races. Tons of elevation, tons of turns, the timing on the jumps. Man, I was like a big lawn dart out there. I couldn't keep the bumper out of the dirt. Then there was the lagoon jump. I didn't really think that much about it until seeing all the carnage that was going on. There was razors rolling, there was people ripping tires off. We just made the decision that we weren't going to go for that one unless we had to. It's a crazy course that was full of opportunities to break this car in half. We're having a hard time getting through a race without braking, so we're pretty careful. We're trying to really push and learn more about this car, and admittedly, I was a little apprehensive about that. After every session, we would pull the tires off, we would check all the joints, make sure that we didn't have any rocks in there bound up in the calipers. You know, we even had some ideas of what we can do to prevent that in the future.
I went through the wheels, hubs, and joints pretty thoroughly, so I think we had it covered.
We were prepared as we could be. I felt we'd done a great job. Vaughn's done a great job with the car. Dustin's done a great job with the car, and it's time to go racing. Finish line or bust.
When you look into my eyes, you know you're gonna see that fire. If you're standing in my way, it ain't gonna be your day. Bleed until I own this dream. Build it like you've never seen. Even at the mountaintop, I'm never gonna ever stop. I won't wait another minute, no, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I don't need no permission. I'm a man on a mission. Take it up now, take it up. I ain't waiting and wishing. Take it up now, take it up. Oh, I got that ambition. Take it up now, take it up. I'm a man.
This is all go. As many laps as you can get in and still be rolling forward 45 minutes later. No matter the noises it's making, the steam that's coming out. I mean, this is go, go, go. It's like being in a rock tumbler for 45 minutes. Totally beat up. I think it actually surprised Kylie a little bit. A huge success. There were 9 cars that lined up for the start, and there was only 3 that finished. So to get second place, pretty happy with that.
We got that fender reattached, got the radiator mount tightened up, got all the rocks out of where they weren't supposed to be, and turned our attention to suspension. It looked like the suspension just wasn't working right going over the jumps. So we made some adjustments for a more predictable ride for that final race.
This was progress. You know, we're getting that much closer to making this car rock solid. We finished the race. We've got a car that's in good shape for the next day. We're feeling pretty good about things. So it's March. Normally it equate March with beautiful spring days, green grass. Not so down in Havasu. The temps are already pushing 100 degrees. It's just bloody hot. To top that off, you're inside your racing suit that's like insulated coveralls. For the race today, we're gonna mix it up a little bit. Vaughn's gonna be my co-pilot.
I've been in quite a few races and I'm comfortable with it. Being in a car that I've spent so much time on makes it even better. It'll be good to get some seat time in so I can see the changes that we've made and how it's affected the RZR.
Dan over at Rugged Radio helped us with setting up an intercom and a radio in the car. You know, it made it pretty slick. Talk back and forth with the co-pilot, and then also we can talk to the spotters. Pulling up to the line, we realize that there's only 4 of the 9 original cars lining up in this class. We feel like that we've got a solid car and we have been tested. It's time to really prove it, you know, go out there and go for it. Right after the first turn and the first little jump, I knew that the car was much better. After making some changes on Saturday night to the suspension, we slept on it, we came back, and we went way stiffer on the car. We changed it up again, and right away, it just was way more comfortable. It took a bit to get my confidence back up. It actually took a couple laps. We were pretty beat up after Saturday, trying to tear the front bumper off on those landings. I wasn't ready for a minute. We just started going for it. The only problem is now I find myself kind of in the middle of the pack. You know, we've got the cars on the row ahead of us that we're mixing it up with. There's some damaged cars out there that are trying to get around and stay in the race. And, you know, I'm ready to go. And I'm trying to get around them. It's just, these things are tough to pass on. You got these pretty big cars and they go pretty fast. It's tough to pass. So we had Jody up spotting the lagoon jump, and she's funny. She's trying to do what we've asked her to do, and I've asked her to let me know if it's safe to roll over the lagoon jump. And then we're getting towards the end of this thing, and we're charging hard, and we're catching up to the lead pack, and it's time to get around them. And so all of a sudden we ask her, you know, should we jump it or not? And that changed the whole thing. And so she had us go around another lap, but we talked about it all the way back around. And she basically is saying, you know, if you want to pass these guys, this is your best spot to do it. You need to go for it. And so here I have my lovely voice of reason in one ear saying, you need to go for it. And so, of course, what do?
Of course we're going to take it. The car is solid, and this would buy us some valuable time. We had to do it.
We go for it. Thanks to that lagoon jump, we were able to make a pass and and catch up to the leaders. It was a little bit of a bummer because I had the passes figured out in my mind where it was going to happen. They threw that checkered flag on us, and you know, I was sad, but at the same time, I was happy. We had pushed this car really hard, and we had come through relatively unscathed, and that hadn't happened yet. Every time we'd pushed that car, we had broke it, and here we were at the hardest course that we'd seen yet, and we had pushed it hard, and the car came out perfect. We're going to finish this season out. That's been the plan all along, to take a stock play car and turn it into a serious race car. Why? Because if we can make race-proven, reliable parts that hold up to these extreme conditions, then we can make parts that everyone else can count on. It's why we're doing this. We want solid, proven options for our customers, and this is the way to get it done, to get this car race ready.